Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I am the Spiritual Director and Founding Minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me with the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, under the weekly talk section. Today is Sunday, July 12th, 2026. We are continuing the monthly theme of whole, no matter what. And today's topic is who I am reflects how I am. The suggested book for reading this month is What It Takes to Heal: How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World by Hemphill Prentice. So at this time, I'd like to once again welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. Here, we teach a philosophy that honors all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you and that everyone is welcome here. We teach the philosophy called the science of mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, and we honor diversity in all aspects. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching, he replied that it is correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and meet Sundays in person at noon. And just a heads up that next week, the Zoom meeting will be pre-recorded and uploaded to YouTube, and there will not be an in-person meeting, as I will be traveling to the Convention of the Americas in Chapala. But after each service, whether it's online or in person, hang out with us for some coffee and some great conversation with like-minded people. And now, as we do each week, let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And so now let's join together for the affirmative prayer for today. And as you know, spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer is always done in the first person. So I invite you to gently close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. There is one power, one presence, the source of all there is, was, and ever will be, seen and unseen. I call this powerful presence God, source, creator, or divine mind. I know that this magnificent, all-powerful source is flowing in and through me as an individualized expression of itself. And as this divine source flows through me, It is providing me with the essential God qualities that are my birthright: life, light, love, beauty, peace, power, and joy. As I embrace and embody these gifts, I am consciously allowing this magnificent presence that indwells to make a home in each and every cell in my body. I live in the reality of perfect health, knowing that my authentic self radiates from a place of wholeness and well-being. I release old thoughts and behaviors that would limit the joy of health. There is only the reality of my body as it is, and my openness to experience life coursing through every cell, demonstrating the wonder of possibilities. I now know and accept this as truth. I am so grateful. My heart is filled with joy as I give thanks to my Creator, expressing as wholeness through me. I release this word to law, knowing it is already done in the mind of God. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by licensed practitioner Alyssa Young from San Jose, California. And so, who we are on the inside reflects how we express ourselves on the outside. Relationships are mirrors that allow us to see that how we view the world reflects how we view ourselves. The more we can uncover our parts, remove our masks, and be authentically ourselves, the more we are able to see the divine in everyone we meet. What would my life be like if I was authentically myself in every relationship? So today our reading is from Brian J. Placha. It's okay to be human. Pardon me, it's okay to be perfectly human. He said, why do we nag and criticize ourselves? Perfectionism is one reason. We expect ourselves to be perfect. And when we aren't, we shame ourselves. We dig trenches of negativity that tell us we're bad, flawed, broken, driving ourselves to achieve and to become better is a good thing. It allows us to set and reach goals, to pursue our dreams, and to make the world a better place. But that drive can become imbalanced when it over tilts into egotism, shame, and never good enough attitudes. What if, when we catch ourselves launching a negativity attack against our self-images, we stop and instead name one good character trait that we possess, one quality that we like about ourselves. Reminding ourselves we're good, teachable, and lovable might be a simple practice that will help turn off that negativity in our heads. By adopting the practice of affirming and accepting ourselves, we purposely lower the unattainable bar of perfectionism. We allow ourselves to be perfectly human. Perfectly human means we will make mistakes. And when we do, we'll admit them and learn from them. It means loving ourselves unconditionally. When we make peace with our internal wars and accept all parts of ourselves without judgment, we create more space for God to love us, for us to love ourselves, and then for us to become multipliers, excuse me, of unconditional love for others. Stop the inner war. Pick up instead the plowshare of self-acceptance. Affirm your humble goodness and allow yourself to be perfectly human. So this month, we are exploring the idea that we are whole just as we are. And this week, we reflect on the relationship between our inner world and our outer expression, how our inner wholeness can guide how we show up in the world. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "We all seek to become whole. Our apparent unwholeness is not understanding that part of us which already is whole, and our search for it is occasioned by the fact that something is always telling us that it is there." So Dr. Ernest Holmes, in a Holmes Reader on Practical Wisdom, wrote this: "Humanity and divinity will be identical when we recognize divinity in humanity. We must learn to see through the apparent, to realize that at the center of every person's soul, God is enthroned. Compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual understanding and in the unified attempt to uncover the divinity in each other. Compassion is the most gentle of all human virtues, for it is the outpouring of the divine givingness through all." Who we are on the inside reflects how we express ourselves on the outside. Relationships are mirrors that allow us to see that how we view the world reflects how we view ourselves. The more we can uncover our parts, remove our masks, and be authentically ourselves, the more we are able to see the divine in everyone we meet. So what if the quality of our lives is determined less by what is happening around us and more by what is happening within us? We often spend a tremendous energy trying to arrange our outer world. We work to improve our circumstances, strengthen our relationships, solve problems, and accomplish our goals. Well, all of these are worthwhile. There is a deeper truth that every spiritual tradition points toward. Our outer life is an expression of our inner life. Consciousness is creation. Ernest Holmes taught that thought is the starting point of experience. The beliefs we accept, the attitudes we cultivate, and the awareness we embody becomes the lens through which we meet the world. This isn't about blaming ourselves for everything that happens, because life presents challenges to each of us. Rather, it's about recognizing that while we can't always choose our circumstances, we can choose the consciousness from which we respond to them. Every day, we are expressing something. We express our fears or our faith. We express resentment or forgiveness. We express lack or gratitude. We express separation or unity. And here's another quote for us. "There's a divine spark in each of us, and this light binds us together." So the question is not whether we are expressing. The question is, what are we expressing? I like to think of our lives as being much like a tree. When we admire a beautiful tree, we notice its branches, its leaves, its flowers, and fruit. Yet none of these would exist without the roots hidden beneath the surface. The roots determine the health of everything we do see. Our consciousness is like those roots. If the roots are nourished by love, compassion, peace, and trust, the fruit of our lives naturally reflects these qualities. If the roots are fed by fear, resentment, or self-doubt, those too eventually become visible in our words and our actions. We can't consistently produce peaceful fruit from anxious roots. That is why spiritual practice matters. Sometimes we think spiritual practice is something that we do for a few minutes each day, but perhaps spiritual practice is really the continual tending of our inner garden. Each moment becomes an opportunity to ask ourselves, what am I planting? Am I planting criticism or encouragement? Am I planting fear or possibility? Am I planting judgment or compassion? Because whatever we plant within ourselves eventually grows into the life that we live. One of the greatest misunderstandings is that wholeness is something that we must achieve. We imagine that one day, after enough learning, enough success, enough healing, enough approval, we will finally become whole. Joan Chitzler wrote this: to be whole ourselves, we must make the effort it requires to understand what is happening to the world. Then we must make the effort to change our own lives in ways that begin to reverse the damage. So wholeness is not our destination, it's our nature. We are not incomplete beings trying to become spiritual. We are spiritual beings awakening to the completeness that has always been present. When we remember this truth, something remarkable happens. We stop trying to prove our worth. We stop comparing ourselves with others. And we stop seeking our value from external achievements. Instead, we begin living from an inner fullness. And people notice, not because we become louder, but because we become calmer. Not because we demand attention, but because we radiate presence. There is a quiet strength in someone who knows who they are. Have you ever been with someone who simply brings peace to the room? They don't have all the answers. They don't control every situation. Yet somehow their presence changes the atmosphere. That kind of influence doesn't come from personality. It comes from consciousness. It comes from someone who has learned to live from the inside out. Imagine what our communities would look like if each of us committed ourselves to cultivating that inner presence. Imagine conversations where listening mattered more than winning. Imagine relationships grounded in understanding instead of assumptions. Imagine workplaces where kindness was considered strength. Imagine families where forgiveness became more important than being right. The world changes one consciousness at a time, and that change begins with each one of us. So perhaps this week, we can carry a simple practice with us. Before responding to a situation, pause for a moment and ask yourself, from what place within me am I about to speak? Is it fear or is it love? Is it ego or is it wisdom? Is it reaction or is it compassion? That one question, from what place within me am I about to speak, has the power to transform not only our words, but our relationships and our lives. Because when our inner world is rooted in truth and our outer expression becomes an authentic reflection of the divine presence within us. As we cultivate peace within, we become peacemakers. As we cultivate compassion, we become compassionate people. As we cultivate love, love naturally flows through us in every encounter. And when we become living demonstrations of the truth that we possess, we become living demonstrations of the truth that we possess. The world does not simply need more activity, it needs more awakened presence. It needs people whose actions arise from wisdom rather than from fear, whose words are grounded in kindness, and whose lives quietly testify to the power of love. May each of us nurture the roots of our own consciousness so faithfully that our lives become a blessing wherever we go. And Walter Green said this: "We are not self-made. We are blessed to have people in our lives who make a difference. Pay tribute to them while they're still here. Say thank you now." Today's story takes place in 1978, where Patrick Maiority of Rochester, New York, was teaching his junior high school science class about solar eclipses. And he explained their trajectories, the path of totality, and other details. The class looked ahead to see which upcoming eclipses would pass over their hometown. "Hey, circle that one on April 8th, 2024. Maiority told his students. "We're going to get together for that one." And every new group of students who came through his classroom heard the same promise. The years went by, and when 2024 arrived, Maiority made good on his promise, creating a Facebook group to track down his former students and invite them to an eclipse reunion. He didn't expect much of the response after 46 years, but hundreds of his former students had made a response to the invitation. Maiority gave shape to the reunion by purchasing plenty of eclipse glasses and hiring a local pizzeria to cater the event. People came from all over the country, with at least one former student saying, "This has got to be the longest homework assignment ever." Eventually, the moon passed over the sun, and people looked up in wonder. They had felt the call of the eclipse, but also the call of friendship. They came to witness something rare in the sky, and they found something just as meaningful on the ground: reconnection, memory, and the fulfillment of a promise made decades before. Seeing the sky was beautiful. Seeing each other again was every bit as good. Brene Brown wrote this: "Connection, along with love and belonging, is why we are here. It is what gives us purpose and meaning to our lives." So relationships are the crucible for our growth and evolution. We each experience the world differently and have our own parts and masks that hinder us from living authentically and from seeing the wholeness of others. Learning to embrace our thoughts, our bodies, and our vulnerabilities allows us to choose to be authentic. This in turn, allows our relationships with others to be deeper and more meaningful. Authenticity allows for vulnerability and intimacy. Embracing all of who we are allows us to see through the apparent, to recognize and realize that at the center of every person's soul, God is enthroned. So this week, notice without judgment the times that you relate authentically with others and the times when you feel you need to wear a mask or hide parts of yourself. Can you feel what happens in your body when you are authentic? And is there a difference between that and the way your body feels when you aren't authentic? Who I am reflects how I am. There is a divine presence within me that is whole, complete, and forever expressing itself as love. As I cultivate peace, wisdom, and compassion with my own heart, they naturally become the gifts I offer the world. I live from the inside out. My life reflects the truth of who I am. Wherever I go, I bring light, hope, and love. And so it is. And I'll leave you with this quote. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. And that brings us to our affirmation for the week. I honor the humanity and divinity in everyone I meet. So now it's time for our news and updates at our center. If you are interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we do offer courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website for the details. And there's also a survey for your input on upcoming classes that you would like to see. So please go ahead and check that out, make your submissions so that we can plan for these as well. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual mind treatment, please contact me so we can arrange for that. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as membership is renewed annually, or if you would like to become a Board of Trustee member, please contact me so that you could be set the current forms. I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And let me know if you would like to receive our weekly post on Substack. Next week, I will be again attending the Convention of the Americas in Lake Chapala, and I'll be offering a workshop. So I hope that you have made plans to come as well. If not, there is still time. And I invite you to come and join me for a week of love, wisdom, and community. You can still register online through the link www.conventionoftheamericas.org. And did you know that the Science of Mind magazine is also available online? For the 12-month subscription, the annual payment is $19.95. And since we are celebrating our 100th anniversary this year, we are challenged to get 1,000 new subscribers. So help us reach that goal. And now it's time for our mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the Science of Mind. Every donation is greatly appreciated. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Donations can be made using either PayPal or Tidely through our website, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the page where you find the weekly talks. Alternatively, you can still send in a paper check by addressing them to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y 8N1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration, and also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you all. Blessings. Namaste.